Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, what are these locks doing today? Happy Monday, December 2nd. Y'all know the drill. Come on, say with me. Wake up for real. Wake up for real. Wake up for real. Good morning. I don't know what my locks are doing today. They're doing their own thing. It's all good because sometimes life be like that where it does its own thing. But good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Wake Up and Win Live with your girl, Dr. Najuma. I'm so glad to be on with each and every one of you this morning, those that are on with us live and those that are watching the replay. Still do me the same courtesy, like, share, and subscribe. Still do me the same courtesy, like, share, and subscribe. I'm super excited about today because we're going to kick off our Advent series. For the next 25 days, we'll be weaving in Advent, the message of Advent, with the message of waking up and winning. And so I'm looking forward to that. But before I get into it, let me reintroduce myself. My name is Reverend Najuma, Reverend Dr. Najuma Smith. I am a pastor. I am a civic engagement leader. I am a speaker. I am a personal mastery coach. And I'm also a mother who's going through grief. A mother's going through grief. I also have this wonderful platform and podcast here, but I'm also a mother who's going through grief, having lost my son 5 years ago, and divorce and financial challenge and a bunch of other things. Yesterday and I am just here. I use this platform to share with all of you that are watching live and those that are watching the replay and listening to the replay on the podcast, that you can go through a major loss. You can recover and you can win again. That's one thing that God has shown me that I know to be true is that you can go through a major loss, you can recover, and you can win again. And so Wake Up and Win was birthed out of just going through my own major losses, recognizing how God was restoring and causing me to recover and causing me to win again. And so there are some things that we should know about ourselves. There's some things we should know about the world around us. There's some things we should know about God. And yeah, and all of that comes together to help us win again. And so in this Advent season, Advent started yesterday. And for those that are unfamiliar with Advent, Advent is a season of preparation leading up to Christmas morning or Christmas Day, where in which we celebrate the coming of Jesus Christ. We know Jesus Christ was more likely born in the summertime, or what we know to be the summertime, um, but the calendar has the celebration of that. Our calendar has a celebration of that on December 25th. Okay, so that's just the day that we remember, right? Which may not necessarily be the date, the actual date of his birth, but it's the day that we remember, the day that we come together in community to remember. And so Advent is the 25 days leading up to that. In the Christian calendar, Advent is what they call a time of preparation, right? So we are preparing to receive the King on the 25th spiritually, right? Because we know that Jesus has already come and is already ascended for those that are Christian. And if you're not Christian, this is how we understand Advent. And so, what I hope to do is to weave in this message of hope and preparation into what we talk about every day, which is waking up and winning, because I do believe that there is correlation to the preparation and the hope, um, for a people who were also in a devastating time. If you understand the Advent season and understand Christ coming, it was not a time of peace. It was not a time of happy, happy, joy, joy. It was actually a very difficult time. And so Christ comes for difficult times. He came, good morning, Loranda. He came in a difficult world at a difficult time to people who were experiencing great difficulty. Jesus doesn't come at a time of happy, happy, joy, joy, peace, peace. Actually, Christ comes at a time life is hard, life is difficult, and then the process of him coming, right, the 25 days leading up to his birth, is surrounded by all these challenging conversations and issues, right? And so I know I love a good Christmas movie, but the truth is, a good Christmas movie, because it tends to just be really feel good and lovey dovey and lots of lights and gifts and presents and bright colors. But the truth is, when we look at the story of Christ coming, it was really it's really a story of great difficulty, but that's what makes his coming so triumphant and so victorious, because even through the difficulty, something great, something good, something miraculous, something life-changing comes forward and is birthed, right? And so that's what Advent season is about. That through the difficulty, something good can come, right? And for you and I, who have had a major loss, our platform here on Wake Up and Win is to affirm that even through the loss, something good can come forward. You can come forward in a better way. You can come forward in a powerful way. You can come forward. I can come forward. We can come forward in a miraculous, life changing, impactful way, even through the difficulty, right? And so, um, and so that's what Advent is all about when it's told properly. When it's taught and told properly, right? And so our Wake Up and Win word for today is hope. Um, One of the key messages. So this week we'll be talking about hope, right? So the first week of Advent is all about hope. And so one of the scriptures that offers hope, right, is in Isaiah 7:4, where the prophet Isaiah says to a people who have just received news that their enemies are coming, that there will be a sign from God for their goodwill, right? There's a sign coming from God that things are going to be okay. And I'm paraphrasing, so you have to go back and read Isaiah 7. And he says this to them, that there will be a woman, a child born of a virgin, and his name will be Emmanuel. God is with us. So even for people who were being threatened and who were uncertain about their future, uncertain about um, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Their future, but their descendants, right? And concerned about how things would fare, not just in that moment, but in their just, in future generations is the word I'm thinking about. He got, Isaiah is raised up, and the prophet says that here's the sign that a child is going to be born of a virgin, and his name, you will name him Emmanuel. God is with us. Yeah, God is with us. This is your sign. And so even at a time like that, at times like these, the prophet gives the people a word of hope, right? Because hope is very powerful even in difficult seasons. Hope is a very powerful gift. It's an important gift that life can give us. God gives us, right? For life is what I'm trying to say. My mistake is hope is a gift from God for this life, that when life does not go the way we expect it, when life presents us with difficulty and challenge, God says, I want to give you the gift of hope, even in the midst of that, so that you will keep going, so that you understand that what you're facing right now is not the end of your story, so that you know right now, in the midst of your heartbreak, in the midst of disappointment, maybe even in the midst of some discouragement, you know that there is something waiting on the other side. So keep fighting, keep getting up, keep waking up, keep going forward, keep advancing, right? Do whatever you have to do to advance forward, because God is with you today, right? God is with you in this. God is with you in this as you go forward. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. You are not without resource. You are not without help, right? And so what I've learned, even coming through the grieving process, and God knows, I was just telling someone yesterday, the end of November allows the heaviness to lift for me, because the end of October and most of November is like when the weight of grieving just like sits on me, because my son was killed at the end of October. His memorial service was in November. My father died in November. My son's birthday is in November. So from end of October to November, it just sits on me, right? But the hope helps me to know that I can even get through that season every year, every year, and then any other times of grieving, that I can get through that because I have help. God is with me. God is with us, right? And so the Advent season kicks off with this message of hope that Christ's coming, the message of his coming is hope for a people who were going through difficulty. Christ's coming is hope for a people who were weary about their governmental rule. So when Jesus comes, and we'll get into that later, what people fail to realize is the governmental rule at that time, it wasn't a fair governmental rule. It wasn't a good governmental rule. It was a governmental rule full of evil. Does it sound familiar? Does that sound familiar? Governmental rule full of evil, right? And so Christ coming for those in the book of Isaiah, as well as when Jesus does come, some hundreds of years later, is a message of hope for people who are going through difficulty. So even for you and I who are going through grief, going through recovery, going through restoration, Advent, this message of hope, right? That you and I can go forward, that we can survive, that we can thrive, that we can make it, is important. And so today, as we kick off this week of Wake Up and Win, our Advent series, I want to encourage you to find your hope, remain hopeful, and know that whatever you have gone through or whatever you're going through, right? God is with us, Emmanuel. God was with us, God is with us, and God will be with us. And knowing that, right, helps us to go through a difficulty, recover, restore, renew, rebuild, and win again. Knowing that there is a God with us, Emmanuel, right? Whatever it looks like, whatever it is, God is with you, Emmanuel. That's our hope today. That's our hope. So thank you for being tuned in to this first installment of Wake Up and Win, our Advent series. We'll be back on tomorrow morning to talk a little bit more about hope and how that enables us to wake up and win. And so for today, you all know the drill. Let's get up, let's get out there, and let's go win. And know that God is with you. God is with you today. Amen. So remember, y'all, like, share, subscribe, like, share, and subscribe. And I pray that you have great hope today. I pray that you flow and operate with great hope, rooted in the knowledge and the understanding, Emmanuel, that God is with you. That God is with you. Whatever you gotta do, God is with you. All right. We out, y'all. Peace. Oh, and don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. Thank you.